said you were going to go back and look at the film to look at some stuff. What did you see when you looked at the pass protection on the offensive line, and what else did you see?
Yeah, I thought our offensive line did a really nice job. There was a couple blitzes that Bowling Green presented where guys were coming free. Those are hot throws for us and not protection issues at that standpoint. Actually, the last touchdown pass at Garbage Street was a hot throw. He read the hot correctly and got the ball out to Josiah, and we made a nice play on the perimeter. So, but our guys did a really good job.
The punt block, was that just not picking up?
It's a communication issue.
Okay.
I don't know how we were going to block that look. So we got to clear that up.
The attendance at the game was an all-time low. I know there was some mitigating factors like the heat and early start time, but attendance has been kind of a thing for a few years now. Are you concerned that's kind of an indication of where?
No, I just want to thank our fans for going to that game because it was the hottest game I've ever had an opportunity to coach in, and it was, the fact that they were there was a tribute to them, and my hat's off to them. But I mean, that's the hottest football game I've ever coached in my life. So, we can't control the weather, but I want to thank the ones that did show up because that was not a fun place to play, to be honest with you.
Attendance has been down even before that, though. Are you concerned that
our job is to play football? So we've won our last 4 on a Ben Bolch momentum meter. I think everything's going in the right direction. We've won all 4 by more than 25 points. So our players are doing what they're supposed to do and prepare and do all those things. So we can't control the weather, so I'm not concerned with that.
As the head coach, can you do anything to help with interest besides winning?
I don't even understand the question.
Like booster events, social media.
No, we don't have
like
any booster events that have been recommended. We always struggle early in the year, no matter where you are, because of we don't have the students on campus, so we don't start classes till the end of the month. So that's always been an issue when we're playing the early season games.
Bobo,
Cam Brown and Logan Loya, are they going to be available at practice today?
We'll see. What they can do. They've been in parts of practice for the last couple of days, and we'll see what they can get through today. So.
Ezekiel and Habermill, are they all right?
We'll see. I don't anticipate anything, but we'll see.
The Bobo jersey situation, I mean, was that just somebody forgetting that you got to...
Yeah, that was a misstep by us, as I said, after the game. We got to make sure when we have guys in duplicate uniforms, Martel Irby was a guy who was in a duplicate uniform all last year, so something we worked on Friday, but we're going to do a better job of it.
So will he keep changing jerseys going
It depends
forward?
on who's in. You just can't have duplicate numbers in a game, so him and Shea Bryant Struthers have the same number. They're both number 9, so you can't play both at the same time. So
he's obviously a big target at 6'5", and we saw him get leveled a couple of times. Is there any worry that as your
well,
top
it was a
receiver...
penalty? No, I mean you can't go back there and say I'm worried about my punt returner that gets. He fair caught it. It was a great decision by Bobo, and then it was a penalty on their part. So I don't know if you can do anything else to prevent a penalty on the other side, but that's really what happened there.
I guess what I'm saying is just even putting him in harm's way at that position as the punt returner,
So Kyle Phillips was our punt returner last year, and has been our top receiver. I don't think the target means. I'm confused on that. So so they jump higher to tackle him than they jump higher to tackle Kyle? They're football players. It's part of the game. If you're concerned with about guy getting a productive player the ball in their hands, that's how it is. And we've had a ton of success. Kyle, he had 97 targets last year and led the nation in punt return. So, when you have a dynamic player, I don't think the difference between being 5'11" and 6'5" is the reason that Bobo got hit. It was a penalty on their part. So.
What makes Bobo such a good punt returner for someone who's not really a traditional punt returner size?
He's got a really good instincts with the ball in the open field. He does a good job of fielding the ball, and has proven to us over time that he's our best punt returner right now.
Mafi had a nice little first down play there. I know it was not designed for him, but is there any thought there? You ever used like a refrigerator Perry play as a coach?
A what?
A refrigerator Perry, running the ball with a big guy like that?
No, we haven't. They're ineligible number-wise in college football, so there's a number issue in college football. In the pros, you can declare a guy eligible, so you can't hand the ball off to a number 56 in college. That's illegal in college football. So in the NFL, when they did it, they declared number 72 is now eligible. They do it in every NFL game, and you watch them on Sundays. If they have to use a lineman as a tight end or a running back, they tell the defense. In college football, anybody numbered 50 to 79 cannot be handed or thrown a football. So that's illegal. So it can't be a big play at the college level.
Josiah Norwood, first career touchdown, that big play towards the end there. It was a couple days after he finally got on scholarship. What was that like, him coming back to the sideline, his reaction, just how big is that for him?
Just that's what he's done. He's made a lot of big plays for us in the last couple of years in certain situations for us. He's obviously contributing more now earned a scholarship. Really proud of him in terms of what he does. Plays with great effort, great energy every single day. Has worked himself up from, he came in here as a quarterback, coming out of high school, and then worked himself into playing receiver, getting on the field initially as special teams, and to see a fifth-year kid like that, for that to pay off is really just a tribute to him. So really happy for him, and hopefully we got more of those in him.
How about Kirsten Schlesinger? He earned a scholarship. I think he's a freshman, redshirt freshman, and he got some playing time. What have you seen from him?
He's done a really nice job. I know Ken and Billy are really high on him. He's smart. He's intuitive. Charlie Collins told us when we were recruiting him, he said, I think this kid's really going to play for you. I think he's got that special trait in him, and really respect Charlie and what he has to say about players. And Charlie's coached at all levels himself, so he had really big praise on him. When we got a chance to see him play and our coaches watched him practice, you could tell that he was a really good football player. So we were excited when we got the opportunity to get him, and all he's ever wanted is an opportunity, and he's gotten that, and he's capitalized on it. So I think he'll continue to grow. He is a young player, but he's got the requisite size and speed. He's smart. He's a physical player. He's playing on all 4 special teams for us right now. So hopefully as we continue to develop and get him more snaps and more playing time, he's more comfortable out there. But for his first time in a college football game, I thought he did a really nice job.
What's the status of Ali Kyle? Is he going to be able?
Unavailable.
Any feeling that he could play this season?
He's unavailable.
What kind of tone do you want this week of practices to have?
We just want to improve, and we try to come out here every day, and that's what we talked about in our team meeting earlier, is that we got to get better. The biggest improvement most teams make is from game 1 to game 2. So we have a lot of things we have to clean up from last Saturday, but we had an opportunity to get them on film, go over them in our meeting sessions, and now get back out on the practice field and make the necessary corrections, and then obviously put our installs in for our next opponent. But it's really the same schedule that we have every week. But our Mondays are always about improvement. Can we be a little bit better today than we were on Saturday, and continue to grow as a group? So as I told the guys after the game, I hope Saturday is the worst game we played all year. And that means we're progressing every game and we continue to build. So you don't want to be the same team at the end of the year that you were at the beginning of the year. You want to hope that there's improvement over time. So.
What were some of the big standouts after watching the film? What did you take away from that game?
I thought Gary Smith played a really good game for us. Was really disruptive and added some things to us up front. Darius played a really good game for us at inside linebacker. I thought his tackling in the open field was really good. And I thought Blay may have played one of his better games that he's played since he's been here. Had a big sack for us, was really productive for us, really led for us and did a nice job. So those are the 3 players that really stood out over the course of the game for us. We talked about in our meeting today, Gary, Darius, and Blay, I thought were real standout players for us on Saturday.
Kenny Churchwell?
Kenny played a good game. But our top 3 players of the game were Gary, Darius, and Blay.
Just generally speaking, the defense, you were happy with it after the game. Was that reinforced with your film review?
Yeah, we can get better at everything. There were some missed assignments, there were some effort deals, offensively, defensively, and special teams. But to go out and do what they did, especially the amount of snaps they played in that heat. I'll give our strength and conditioning staff credit for our conditioning. You didn't see any of our guys going down cramp-wise. Our guys fought through it. Again, it was a difficult situation to play in from a weather standpoint, but that can't be an excuse, but I thought overall our defense played intact. Really that one drive, I think they had 162, but they had 79 yards on that one drive. We can clean up some tackling things, and that's kind of a goal for what we got to get better at this week is cleaning up some of the tackling things. But I thought as a group and as a unit, they played pretty well today.
Chaz Allen was a big factor in the passing game on Saturday. What kind of development have you seen from that part of him during the time you've had him?
Yeah, he's starting to learn the nuances of the game. Playing wideout, he's always been a running back, and as he transitioned last year, the subtleties and the difference. He's very dynamic with the ball in his hands, but understanding leverages of the defenses and how they're trying to play you, where they're trying to force you, how you can get across, how do you beat somebody across the surface. Some of the little subtle things that I think you have to do to be a really, really good receiver. But I was really happy with his production on Saturday, and I know he'll tell you there's 1 or 2 he wanted back that I think he could have been even more productive for us. But like all of our players, it's about growing and improving from game 1 to game 2. So hopefully that's just the start.
Thanks, Greg.